Welcome to Book Chat 2 on Vagabonding. This is the book by Rolf, and this is the second book chat we've done. And yeah, I just felt it was a topic absolutely worthy of another call and a bit of a conversation about ways that we travel and why, how, and maybe even some resources. So I'm going to get started right away with a quote from Rolf himself. So Rolf says, "Vagabonding is not a lifestyle, nor is it a trend. It's just an uncommon way of looking at life, a value adjustment from which action naturally follows. And as much as anything, vagabonding is about time, our only real commodity, and how we choose to use it." So in July 2022, we made the decision to sell up and travel. 6 months later, we had the house on the market and it looked like we were going to have a quick sale. A year after that, we still haven't sold. So we're kind of like wannabe vagabonders. We're treading water. We're adrift in an in-between time. It's hard. It's frustrating. It's even causing us to doubt if we will ever get there, but not if this is the right path for us. So on the weekend, I was listening to Vagabonding for the second time, and I caught myself thinking, do I really travel like a vagabonder? A traveler who fully experiences the places they visit? An open-minded, open-hearted citizen of the world? What if I could take this time when I'm teetering on a wall with 1 foot in home life and 1 foot reaching for the boat, to learn to live in the manner in which I intend to travel? So I take a deep breath and I feel grateful for this time when I can practice living with deeper awareness. I learn to listen to my intuition. I can be more open-minded and open-hearted to the people around me in everyday life. And I realize maybe we weren't ready to take this step before, or maybe I wasn't. Perhaps the universe has delayed the start of our adventures in order that when we do go, we will experience the world more fully, the people more openly, and we will be more equipped to share our travels with others, to share with honesty, to share with fun, and to share our deep love of the big wide world. So that sacred choice I added to my habit tracker for January 2024, intuition and awareness ritual, the one I had thus far failed to nail and prioritize, I realize I can apply to practice seeing the world with a different, more appreciative focus. It doesn't matter where I am, but even being at home, there are opportunities to be more open and aware. And along with the everyday gratitude that comes from that, I know I'm also taking some small steps towards the life we intend to lead, and most importantly, the way in which we want to live it. In fact, Rolf Potts says it best. Thus, the question of how and when to start vagabonding is not really a question at all. Vagabonding starts now, even if the practical reality of travel is still months or years away. Vagabonding begins the moment you stop making excuses, start saving money, and begin to look at maps with the narcotic tingle of possibility. From here, the reality of vagabonding comes into sharper focus as you adjust your worldview and begin to embrace the exhilarating uncertainty that true travel promises. So this is my question for you all. It's not just why do you travel or where do you travel, but how do you travel? So my why is why do we not go? Why do we take a long time to make a decision? So jumping into this question, I was thinking about how we settle for the norm, how we're fearful of taking those big steps. So quoting again from the book, in this way, we end up spending, as Thoreau put it, the best part of one's life earning money in order to enjoy a questionable liberty during the least valuable part of it. We'd love to drop all and explore the world outside, we tell ourselves, but the time never seems right. Thus, given an unlimited amount of choices, we make none. Settling into our lives, we get so obsessed with holding on to our domestic certainties that we forget why we desired them in the first place. I think part of that is, for me, thinking about the what if, the what if we'd done this sooner? What if we'd done this 10 years ago? What if we'd done this 5 years ago? And then I'm reminded, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The next best time is now. So while I value reminding myself that I'm not going to settle, I also can put that behind me and think about the realities of getting out there and doing this. So the next point for me is money versus time, because people tend to think, you must be really rich if you travel, that you need a lot of money to be able to travel. So you work hard to save the money to have that experience. So another quote from the book: money, of course, is still needed to survive, but time is what you need to live. So save what little money you possess to meet basic survival requirements, but spend your time lavishly in order to create the life values that make the fire worth the candle. Dig. I'm going to say that one again. Spend your time lavishly in order to create the life values that make the fire worth the candle. Dig. And that so comes back to having a life book. I really think that whole building that awareness of who we are, what we value, and what our life vision is for the future is such a very big part of this. And yes, I really like that quote. The next one about money. The more we associate experience with cash value, the more we think that money is what we need to live. And the more we associate money with life, the more we convince ourselves that we're too poor to buy our freedom. Reality? Check, we are taking a big chance. We are taking a chance on me earning more than I currently am, on being able to do it for the price that we think it is, and potentially, when we want to buy another house to live in, struggling, the bank not wanting to give us a mortgage because we don't have fixed incomes. But that's not a reason not to do this. That is, in a way, the reason why we're doing this, because we don't want to be beholden to the system and stuck in a place we don't want to be. So for me, it's a case of building that belief and knowing that we're people with skills. Uh, we can always find ways to make a dollar. So yeah, of course there's fear around that, but it's I'm able to put that aside and we're moving on. So a quick stop into the need for resources ideas. There are a huge number of resources online out there, some brilliant books, including this one. I'm looking forward to listening to the Tim Ferriss podcasts and some of the interviews he's done. There's a lot of YouTube channels. We've been following Cara and Nate for a little while, and I quite like their Daily Drop newsletter and the Daily Drop Lounge Facebook group. A lot of it is to do with points and miles and travel hacking, and a lot of those advantages are mainly available in the USA, even Canada. We don't have quite as many opportunities with credit cards and the miles and points stuff here in New Zealand, but it's definitely had some ideas and some useful resources there. We also found recently the Senior Nomads. They've written books about renting out your home on Airbnb and things like that. But they also have a Facebook group, and these are people that probably a little bit more in our age range, the 50 plus. And yeah, there's some really good conversations about long-term travel, spending lots of time in places, and resources, where to go, what to do, which is really helpful. And there's a lot more out there as well. So, but those are possibilities. Okay, I had decided my theme for 2024 is a quote from a movie. Life is an awfully big adventure. And so the next quotes from the book relate to adventure. So having an adventure is sometimes just a matter of going out and allowing things to happen in a strange and amazing new environment, not so much a physical challenge as a psychic one. And I love that idea. I mean, I'm not an adventure traveler. It's not the bungee jumping and the zip lining that spins my wheels, although I do want to paraglide at one point as a celebration. But it's the adventure of being somewhere completely new and having that experience. Rolf Potts also says you should view each new travel frustration, sickness, fear, loneliness, boredom, conflict as just another curious facet in the vagabonding adventure. So yeah, adventure isn't all fun, but some of those frustrations make the best stories. The secret of adventure, then, is not to carefully seek it out, but to travel in such a way that it finds you. To do this, you first need to overcome the protective habits of home and open yourself up to unpredictability. As you begin to practice this openness, you'll quickly discover adventure in the simple reality of a world that defies your expectations. More often than not, you'll discover that adventure is a decision after the fact, a way of deciphering an event or an experience that you can't quite explain. I love that. It's kind of like a rephrasing. I love that idea of turning an experience that, whether it was positive or negative, into this was today's adventure. And building that awareness muscle in actually analyzing and thinking about it after the fact, which is kind of cool. Vagabonding is about looking for adventure in normal life and normal life within adventure. Vagabonding is an attitude, a friendly interest in people, places, and things that makes a person an explorer in the truest, most vivid sense of the word. I think that quote really just sums it all up for me. It sums up the vagabonding ethos. It sums up why you would want to do this, and that attitude, that presence of mind that we bring to our experiences. A thing that I have been learning through delving into my life book building my life vision, and learning to really work on my intuition and awareness. And that's being able to find that attitude and live with it and travel with it is important to me. So quotes about adventure aren't just in Rolf's book. There is another quote from one of my favorites. This is actually one of the Lord of the Rings books. It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out of your door. You step into the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. So that can be a positive and a negative, but it's a real, yeah, life's adventure quite kind of quote. Um, and yeah, sometimes the not knowing is the best part. And then I'll just close with another quote from J.R.R. Tolkien. Not all those who wander are lost. And my intention over the next and the coming years is to do a hang of a lot of wandering in a hang of a lot of places. And if that's something that you're keen to do and would like to be part of a group of Lifebook wanderers, Lifebook travelers, we'll work on the title, then let me know, because I would really love to have that set up and we can talk about experiences, share resources, and yeah, share our adventures.